There are huge amounts of possibilities when it comes to yarn choices. And while I would love to tell you it's easy to sort through the array of fibers available, I'm sorry to say that it's something you'll just have to dive into yourself. If you live close to a yarn shop, I encourage you to pop in and see what they have. Fill everything you can. I've often loved the idea of a yarn, but hated it once I felt it or ended up being allergic to the fiber after I got it home. Let's talk about animal fibers first. Wool is the most common animal fiber. It produces very warm and strong yarn, and it can also absorb water without feeling damp and cool. This makes it great for wearing in the snow or rain. Wool has a bad rap for being itchy, but it all depends on the type of sheep the wool came from. This right here is Peruvian Highland wool, and it's actually really quite scratchy. It has a very long staple length, so that makes it a little bit more rough to touch. It's great for something that's not going to be close to your skin very often. It would be really great for like an overcoat because it does soak in a lot more water than, you know, say a softer wool. And it repels, you know, some of the stuff that would be hitting your skin. So it's great for that. This is a softer wool. And it has a little bit of a acrylic blend to it, 7% acrylic blend to it. And that means it's just going to be a little bit softer, have a little stretch to it. And that makes this kind of a really cool wool. This is an even bigger blend of acrylic and wool. It is 80% acrylic and only 20% wool. So it's really soft. But it still has just enough wool in it to make it pretty warm as well. Other animal fibers like cashmere and mohair, which are goat fibers, angora, which is a rabbit fiber, or even alpaca can be desirable for certain projects. I've seen a very lovely lacy shawl made out of mohair that looked almost ethereal because of the fuzzy quality of the mohair yarn. This is an alpaca wool blend, and it's super soft. Alpaca is really soft yarn. And it's really fuzzy as well. So this really thin weight yarn would make a really pretty shawl. Animal-derived fiber until recently has meant silk. But in the last few years, milk fiber has come onto the market. Both have a pretty sheen and a slightly sticky quality to the touch, but they tend to be very slippery to work with on the hook. I don't have any silk or milk fibers to show you, but know that they are pretty expensive, which is why I don't own any. But they're really pretty, and if you needed them for a certain project, they would be great. Especially if you're allergic to wool or other animal blends. An animal-derived fiber wouldn't have that same kind of allergy. Next, we'll talk about plant fibers. Cotton yarn is the most common plant fiber. It's very cool to wear, and it's easy to wash. Since cotton is available in many different grades of cotton, it is a great alternative to animal fibers for people with allergies or vegan lifestyles. So let's look at a couple of different cotton yarns. This is dishcloth cotton. You can find this pretty much at every craft store. I've even seen it at Walmart. It's really 100% cotton, and it has no stretch in it. And it's really difficult to work with if you're making a lot of things out of it. It's not easy on your wrists at all. This is another 100% cotton yarn, and it's really soft. It still doesn't have stretch, but it's easier on the hands than this one is. You know, there's Egyptian cotton, which is the softest of all cottons, but Pima cotton is right on up there as well. And this is a 75% Pima cotton blend with 25% acrylic. It is super soft, and the acrylic gives it a little bit of a stretch, and it's just a really nice yarn to work with. This is a 100% Pima cotton. It has a little bit of a shine to it. I don't know if you can see it on camera, as opposed to this other one that's only 75% Pima cotton. And so it has this nice shine, and it's very soft, easy to work with. It's a very nice cool yarn, so you can make like a top out of it, and it would be very nice to wear in the summer. And there are multiple other kinds of cotton yarns out there. These are just the ones I happen to have right now. But I highly suggest you, if you don't use animal fibers, that you try a different kind of cotton yarn, kind of broaden your horizons of cotton yarn and check out a few different options. Linen yarn is also a plant fiber, and it's great for hot climates. It's usually mixed with another fiber because it has a stiff quality. This is a linen yarn, and it's, I don't know if you can see, it's made of a whole bunch. It's made of a whole bunch of different threads. And it's a really, really great yarn. I like to use linen yarn for tops, sometimes baby blankets, just because they're really soft and airy. You can make a nice airy quality of them. Bamboo yarn is becoming really popular right now because of its eco-friendliness, and it is very soft. There are many craft store brands out there starting to use bamboo in their yarn lines, so it's pretty easy to find. I actually don't have any right now, but there are multiple brands that have it. I just recently found another yarn at a yarn shop when I was on my anniversary vacation, and it's made out of paper, which I guess would also be kind of a plant derivative. So there are many more plant fibers on the market now than there used to be, and I believe that they're just going to keep trying to make yarn out of other things, so that's great for the future. And last but not least are the synthetic yarns. Acrylic yarn is easily the most popular synthetic yarn out there. It's easy to care for and very inexpensive. And like I mentioned in lesson 1, acrylic yarn has improved quite a bit in the last 20 years. There are many brands of acrylic yarn on the market now that are very soft and have a wide array of colors. Rayon and nylon are also synthetic fibers you'll find in yarn, but they're usually mixed with other yarns like cotton or linen to add some elasticity. Sometimes you'll find like a wool nylon blend for socks that keeps the nylon keeps the wool from breaking down so much. These acrylic yarns, these two are 100% acrylic. They're really soft, easy to work with. You can wash them in the washer and dry them in the dryer. This is a 80% acrylic, 20% wool blend. It's a little bit softer than these other ones. It feels a lot more like wool. And since it has so much acrylic in it, you can wash it and dry it. Like I said, there are a million options, but as a beginner, I would suggest that you stick with a good acrylic yarn in a medium or worsted weight because it's cheap and easy to work with. And we'll talk about weights in the next video. Before I forget, beware of the fun-looking yarn. No fun fur, sparkles, or nubby yarns just yet. As a new crocheter, yarns like these will be really enticing, but for now, just walk away. These kind of yarns will frustrate you to no end. It's really difficult to see the stitches with these yarns, and they are usually fairly more expensive than regular yarns. So stick to the basics for now, and once you're ready, these yarns will still be around.